I just finished reading Fearful, and I'm just gonna say that I am not okay, okay? And neither are you going to be. So in this video, I'm not going to do this review because I'm not ready for it yet. My brain still needs to process whatever things that went through, so I'm just going to be explaining the plot, okay? So if you don't want any spoilers, you just skip the video, but if you do want them, this is certainly the video you need. Because guys, Fearful was a roller coaster of emotion. And okay, let's just start. So at first we have an epilogue introducing Mara to us. So she's like the badass, kind of like how you'd expect death, but personified into a female, like a woman. And she is lonely, like it's been centuries since she has any contact, though she likes to stalk humans, observing them and their little happiness that they have in life. Anyway, yeah, that's the introduction. And then we have Kit taking the plague. Yes, right on track. We see healers try to stop him, and he doesn't exactly listen. He doesn't think he's going to be okay, but he tells that to everyone that he is going to be just fine. So Mara is on the other hand observing Blair and Lenny at this moment. And I love this quote from this chapter. This is from chapter 2. That she is not heartless, death, not quite. The broken organ just no longer beats. I just love this type of, like, the writing style has improved so much from these Powerless series, and I loved. I'm a fan of all of Lauren's quotes. The way she writes Kai and every character in this series is just wonderful. So back to the scene. Lenny comes to Blair's room and lets her know that she to be kept because Peyton has returned and will try to kill her, and that as an Imperial it is his job to protect her or guard her room so that Peyton does not attack. Blair obviously does not agree at first, but then Lenny reminds her that this is his duty, and she's very reluctant, and they both have a very push and pull dynamic that I loved. That bickering. I did not miss Kai and Pei in this book because the bickering of Blair and Lenny did that for me. It was just very sad. So, also, Kit is now reading Edric's letters that he left. Let me read one for you. As Elia's king, you now guard her secrets, and just as my father did for me, I live behind the truth. The plague that gifted us with our powers was no accident. It was created to strengthen our kingdom, and it did just that, though not in the way Fabian Azar intended. And so Kit is surrounded with papers, reading this, and is like, so this is the man I used to look up to? Man, he is not cool. I'm gonna do something way better. I'm gonna rule the entire kingdoms and make the world a better place. Yeah. However dumb the idea may really be, its motives really weren't that evil. Yes, he did want to mass kill and everything. He thought, at least from his point of view, he thought that he was doing the world a favor by ridding people of ordinary, so there would be no discrimination between them, there would be no divide between them. He just wanted equality for everyone. He thought that it would not be possible for elites and ordinaries to live side by side, so he thought the best way to do so was turn everybody, like all of the population, into elites, and thus getting rid of the ordinaries, and yeah, just equality for all, I know. And while he's thinking all of that, he sees a shadow come from behind, and that is Mara. So this is their first meeting, and Kit at first thinks that she is some sort of healer. And as much as bickering Kai and Pei and Lenny and Blair did, Kit and Mara, however, do not have that. They have a different dynamic, one that doesn't involve teasing each other or bickering. They're just blunt with each other. They share a deeper connection. That is me not saying that Blair and Lenny and Kai and Pei do not have a deeper connection. It's just, yeah, it is how it is. And then we see some sweet moments between Blair and Lenny. I love how their relationship also evolves over time. Like, Blair escapes and Lenny catches her, and she knows for the first time that he's a hyper. And the next scene, we see Kit and Peyton on their wedding day when Peyton decides to visit Lute, and they're attacked by people. A blast takes place like 6 feet away from him, and he's like, I'm this close to death. And then when he gets back into carriage, he's like jealous of that Kyle went to make sure Peyton is safe first before coming to him. And yes, jealousy overloaded, and notices Mara again this time. Then she disappears, and he's a little suspicious but doesn't suspect anything yet. And Blair is here sitting reading, and her mother bursts in the room and tells her how much of a worthless she really is. That kind of reminded me of Evangeline's mother from Red Queen. There is like, yes, I'll disappoint us all, I'll disappoint you, you can do nothing about it. Of that. And then Kit is in his desk and writing about how intrigued he is about Mara, and yes, how little he knows about her. But as soon as he writes the letters down, it just disappears, and he's shocked for a moment. Then Mara is summoned again, and then he feels that you are not human, are you? Mara reveals to him in a cryptic way that death is so much close to him now, like he's dying, and which is exactly why he can see, hear, and conversate and touch death. She can physically connect with him, with a human, after so many centuries. And the funny thing is, Kit is not afraid of death. Though when asked, Death says she cannot be contained. Blair and Lenny are getting close. On the other hand, Blair reveals why she hates Peyton, and it has nothing to do with other than jealousy, that she envies her, how she's been living on loot, living in the streets, and ordinary, so weak, and still managed to, rock the purging trials, which Blair has been training for her whole life. And how her mother used to be so controlling about that all the time, and so she always craved freedom and she loved to break, and so she had made a deal with her mother that if Blair won the purging trials, she would be granted her freedom, and the sergeant or her mom would no longer control her life, and if not, she will forever listen to her mother. Something like that. And since the resistant attacked and the king died and so many chaos took off, so they didn't announce any winners. Now her mother won't even agree to give her the freedom, even though Blair won. And Blair didn't know that Adina was Peyton's friend. She literally thought that she was a criminal, and yeah, that's her part of the story, why she is as cruel as she is. It sees Mara more and more now, and is able to summon Mara whenever he likes, and asks her to let him die temporarily so he can go and talk to his mother. And he goes into the moors, the place of the souls, they say. And instead of finding his mother, he finds King Edric, or his father, and his father is unsurprisingly still disappointed and unappreciative towards Kit, and says how evil of a king he's going to be because, yeah, he's trash. Blair and the supposed ginger snap, or Lenny, has been getting more closer now. Lenny observes Blair having a nightmare, which she reveals is to be about Adina, that she didn't even know that Adina was not actually a criminal, and Adina still haunts her in her sleep because apparently Adina was Blair's first kill. Kit and Mara talk more often. Kit reveals that he didn't see his mother like he planned to, but he did talk to an angry Edric. Mara says that it must be a sign that Queen Iris's soul is resting now and is not in the moor anymore. They make a deal. Let me tell you the line. I'll remind you how to live if you teach me how to die. And Kit tells her the reason why he took the plague, and they both understand each other. They both feel that they feel each other. So when Kit coughed another step closer to death in his sleep and Mara is accidentally summoned, he sits beside him and recalls the memory of a certain Azar, which I think would be safe to assume is an ancestor of the Azar line, like another past king that she loved him, and it is hinted that one of the reasons why she is death is because of this love she had for this Azor king, because she is wondering what if this time could be different. When Kit wakes up, he's a little surprised, but Mara notices that he is not afraid of her yet. Maybe because he sees himself in her. Here's a lovely quote that I have highlighted. "I would have believed you were a deity if only you said so. I would not have questioned worshipping something so divine." I love this quote. Anyway, guys, this is part 1. We'll be back for part 2 in no time.